Good evening and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I am Hamza Idris. The federal government has announced the disbursement of 330 billion naira in direct cash transfers to millions of Nigerians. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, at a briefing in Abuja said this massive payout is a key part of President Bola Tinubu's strategy to cushion the devastating effects of fuel subsidy removal and exchange rate reforms. The funds, drawn from an 800 million World Bank loan, are reportedly being channeled through the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office, NASCO. But who exactly is receiving this money? The government says that its National Social Register contains nearly 20 million households, which translates to over 70 million individuals deemed poor and vulnerable. Of that number, the current phase is targeting 15 million households for direct support. Tonight we ask, is this cash infusion reaching the right people? Is it enough to counteract rising inflation? And what are the long-term plans for this social safety net? Joining us to discuss these crucial questions we have on my far right is actually Nurudeen Hammanyero. He's a retired naval officer and an APC chieftain. And very close to me here is Comrade Bitako Abubakar, a political analyst. Welcome to our studios, gentlemen.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
But before we dive into our discussion, here are some major stories making the headlines. Rivers State Governor Siminalai Fubara has assured the people of the state that his government will continue to work in their best interest. Fubara gave the assurance shortly after he arrived at the government house, Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Friday. Fubara had failed to resume office after the emergency rule ended on Wednesday, leaving jubilant supporters disillusioned. It had been widely expected that Fubara, who was outside the country during the suspension of the emergency rule, will make a dramatic return to resume office. However, by dusk on Thursday, he had not appeared at the Brick House or anywhere else in the state. Earlier in the day, the outgoing sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete, officially ended his tenure and pulled out of the government house. And the United Nations Committee on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women has revealed that 91 Chibok schoolgirls remain in captivity or are still missing 10 years after their abduction. The committee also reported that many survivors continue to endure trauma and social stigma with little to no access to adequate support services. The findings were published in an inquiry report following a 2-week confidential mission to Nigeria in December 2023. During the visit, the delegation conducted assessments in Abuja as well as in several states, including Adamawa, Borno, Enugu, and Kaduna. The committee reportedly found grave systematic violations after the Chibok mass abduction of the schoolgirls. The expert said urgent measures are needed to end torture and ill treatment in Nigeria. Once again, welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. Nurudeen, I'm tempted that we should start the conversation with the last tidbit. 91 schoolgirls. You know, these girls were picked on 14th April 2014, which is now over 11 years, right? And there were 276 at that time. But then it's like we have moved on in Nigeria.
You know, there has always been a system in this country where we take things very unserious. The reintegration of victims of Boko Haram into the society has never been effective as far as I'm concerned, and then as far as any reasonable Nigerian, I think, is concerned. Because when the only time after the Chibok girls' abduction,
in 2014,
the 2014, there has been several abductions in different parts of the country, be it in the northwest as a result of kidnapping.
Kagara, yeah.
There has been a lot, but you never get to hear if once they are rescued, how have they been handed over to their family, except of recent that I saw the effort made by the current National Security Advisor, where families are even invited down to the villa, and yes, it was encouraging. But on a general note, we've not been doing very well, living up to expectation to show that the life of the human being matters and it comes first before any other thing. That being said, it's not as if our military are not doing their best. Who knows now what is the state of these girls? Are they even with the Boko Haram in Sambisa? Have they been, taken out of the forest and then taken to different part of the country? Have they been married to the Boko Haram leadership? Are they even alive? So if we have our intelligence who go about sometimes, or our religious leaders, or our investigative journalists who usually have their own expertise to go to that length of finding out the state of things, and then they are still protected within the ambit of the law, I think by now we should be knowing who, in fact, with their names. Okay, Miss so-so-so and so-so-so is married to so-so-so by force to so-so-so Boko Haram member. At least, even if she's not released, we know that this is the state of the lady. But on a general note, we've not done these things to expectation. The moment, 276 minus how many now we have?
We have around those that come back
over almost
60%.
Yes, almost 60 to 65%. So does that mean the 35% doesn't matter? And even the people that are putting effort to always remind us about the Chibok girls, perhaps they are exhausted too because they have not been seeing the result. They are quiet. So this goes a long way to tell you a lot. We are experiencing a system, I will call it decay, that we need a total overhauling, because the military is doing their best, but we need them to do more. I mean, that is the security architecture in general.
What is your take? Is there political will? I remember that when this thing happened, there was even denial that it was set up to discredit the administration of Jonathan at that time. But as we speak, most of those girls that return, especially those who stayed there for 3, 4, 5 days, they came back with babies. Now, do you think this 91 will ever return?
Well, incidentally, I am the Secretary General of Northeast Development Association. We have done a lot of community engagement. We have done a lot of stakeholders engagement. We have issued press release severally and press conferences severally. I myself in particular. But to no avail. To no avail. The achievement we recorded is just 20 over 100.
In your estimation?
In my estimation, that is the personal effort we made as a socio-cultural group to engage the government and the critical stakeholders in the region. You understand? To ensure the safety return of these ladies and the safety returns of other individuals who were by one way or the other picked from one angle or the other. You understand? But the whole situation boils down to what my brother here has just said. The government is so relaxed. We have that laxity, absolute nonchalant attitude
to follow
up issues.
All right, it's actually a topic on its own. Let's move to politics before we go back to the issue of addressing poverty. Still with you, Bitako. Throughout yesterday, many thought that maybe Fubara was abducted, or out of the country, or back in Nigeria. And up till now, nobody said where he was yesterday. He only, reappeared this afternoon. Do you think the crisis in River State is over?
It should be over. He was abducted sociologically and psychologically. For him not to have appeared that same yesterday, that is my perspective. Sociologically and psychologically, this is an individual who was elected by his constituents. You understand? by the citizens of the state who have constitutional right to elect whosoever they so desire as their own leader. Then many things came around, many things happened that were so absurd, absolutely absurd, that never warranted for the declaration of state of emergency as far as that case is concerned. I issued many statements to that effect. Now look, Mr. President, you have been a sound Democrat. Mr. President, you have been a rooted comrade in the field. Mr. President, I am part and parcel of your party. I am part and parcel of an individual who campaigned for you. With renewed hope, with a slogan of renewed hope agenda. You shouldn't be found involved in this kind of mess.
But nothing from there.
Nothing.
Okay. I can see you're nodding your head. Is it in agreement?
No,
okay.
not at all. Okay. You know, I differ with Bitako completely because, you know, at a point I was here with you guys, and extraordinary times in life require extraordinary measures. What the president did was to save Rivers State, to save the economy of Nigeria, considering Rivers State as the second highest internal revenue generators, to save the people of Rivers State, and also to save Nigeria at large.
But has that paid off?
Now, it has paid off. And look, when he did that, and we were not the first to declare state of emergency. So many countries in the world have done it, depending on the situation as at the time.
Including now, suspending democratic structures?
What I'm saying is, the conditions may differ, but at the time, because look at what I'm talking about now is Rivers State. Look at the economic situation of Rivers State. Look at the Rivers State geographical location. It borders with international communities, international waters. Now, already before then, we were having issues of pipeline vandalism, and you remember, easily people can come in through the waters and do more damages to our economy that we are barely surviving. Our refineries that were just repaired were vandalized. So declaring state of emergency as at that time was necessary because the president needed to save Rivers State and save the economy of Nigeria.
But
and he did that.
Fast forward, Hammanyero now.
No.
Are you satisfied with the transition now?
Now, the president in the declaration issued a 6 months time for the emergency period.
Yes.
For security to be stabilized,
yes,
and restore normalcy. And exactly on the sixth and end of the 6th month, democracy has been given back to the people of Rivers State, and you can see the joy in them. Yes, there are people from other quarters calling for the complete investigation of Admiral Ibok Ete-Iba's time in office. This is a different case of study, which I'm sure many people will call for his accountability, which is okay. But as far as democracy is concerned, the president has done very well. Other key players in the region, I saw the Elders Forum appreciating the president for handling the matter amicably, resolving that dispute between these giants in the state. It's necessary because this is democracy. You have to manage it. You must not do it the way you see other people do it, because these are peculiar issues. And I am grateful that he did what he thinks was better for the people of Rivers State, and it has paid out.
Okay, Bitako, finally, in 1 minute. Immediately they resumed the State Assembly. They asked the governor to do 2 things. Submit commissioner nominees, submit another budget, right?
Yeah.
Which will be put on top of the one executed, by the outgoing sole administrator. Don't you think it's a whisper to maybe imminent problem?
No, obviously it should. The previous structure has been dissolved or scandalized. Dissolved and scandalized. These 2 terms can be used synonymously. Considering the fact that we are in democracy, then you expect such thing to happen. And if I should advise, I think it is high time for the governor to kind of drop some pride. The other party should equally drop some pride. You understand? Then sit together, reconcile, and move forward for the benefit of the citizens of the state and the benefit of Nigeria at large.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move to the topic of today: conditional cash transfer. Is it the answer? Let me get to you. Hammanyero? Because many Nigerians were, I don't know, shocked or baffled when the Minister of Finance announced that they have released money to millions of Nigerians. Were you surprised, or you have seen it, your neighbor, or maybe part of your household or extended family? Has anyone
No,
gone there?
I'm not surprised. What I will always call for, in this current administration, palliatives were given at different stage, starting from when the subsidy was withdrawn and when the currency was flooded. Palliatives has been given at different stage. Remember, in October 2023, the president released a lot of money to governors, to senators, and we discuss it here. The effectiveness of the distribution. How was that money utilized? We condemn senators and governors who went quiet and couldn't do anything. We celebrated some members' House of Reps and some senators who did very well, that even their governors had to compliment on their effort because they show they care for their people. Now, palliatives is not the problem. Palliative is a means to reduce the shock, economic shock, as a result of economic policies that were executed by any government and is obtainable in any part of the world, including superpowers like America, like Canada, like France, like all these countries today have their own palliative system. So to give out palliative is okay, but my concern about giving palliatives is there are references you can make from the Buhari administration down to now, that the current one, which is the 330 billion naira. Has it been properly utilized? Has it reached the eligible people, the recipients, people who are supposed to receive this palliative? This is my concern, because if we have a system, today in this country we have agencies that manage our database. Nigerian Communication Commission, Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian NIMSI, National Identity Management Commission. We have the Nigerian Data Protection Commission.
And to some extent, even
the Immigration Service. Now we have these agencies that are saddled with the responsibility to manage our database. Means they can easily give out statistics of where this money should be taken, and we know the situations. But handing this money perhaps to either the governors or the senators and reps to politicize it the way they did in the last time, thereby insulting the aim of the entire process, is what I am against. But giving palliatives is a good thing. That means if the president has learned his lesson
from the previous,
this time around, this money should be given to the right quarters, and they should target people based on data. If the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs has generated a database so far, because they have been the one managing most of these crises, have they generated a database? If from the time of Sadia to now we don't have a database, it means there's a problem, because we have issues during Sadia when she distributed 25,000 naira to 25 million Nigerians in 24 hours. And we all cried about it, because we couldn't fathom how this is done. So now the 330 billion naira, a very good effort in the right direction, but we want to see the distribution format. How much is Adamawa State receiving? How much is Taraba State receiving? And even in Adamawa State, when it gets to Adamawa State, which part of Adamawa State is most vulnerable, and who are the people that will get this money? Because the target is two things: the cash transfer, the food distribution, and support for small businesses. This is the consideration Nigeria has for palliative. So if we are giving the cash transfer, who are our target? If we are giving the food distribution, who are our target? Because remember, in the same 2023 October, we had governors that were rebagging rice, carrying their pictures, politicizing it, and we condemn it. Now, on the issue of supporting businesses, part of this money, where will it go? Is it small and medium? Which businesses should be targeted with this palliative so that it will cushion the effect while we are experiencing the maturity period for these policies towards sustainable...
all right, Bitako, I want you to come in. In your neighborhood, have you seen some people benefiting from this?
At my own age, I don't think I will lie. I have not seen anybody that has received palliative. At my age, and as a grassroots politician, and as an activist.
Now,
do you know why?
No.
It's very unfortunate. The policy or the packaging of palliative is something very laudable. The president,
as a concept,
it's laudable because it's a process of resolving some issues, bringing relief to the needy, vulnerable persons or citizens. I kind of applaud Mr. President for being generous to have come up with this after the abrupt announcement of subsidy is gone, subsidy is gone, subsidy is gone. But unfortunately, this action was backed up with the so-called palliative that never, 95% never reached the desired target.
Allegedly, maybe.
It's not allegedly. Look, we are in a country where when good thing is happening, you see jubilation all over. When bad thing is happening, you see people coming out. We are Nigerians. We are different species of human being.
So this should have been...
Don't forget, I am a card-carrying member of APC.
But you are being realistic.
I'm being realistic. I have to be a citizen first before belonging to a political party. You understand? For me to have come out and be saying this is to put in track the party, my party in government, my party, so that they will do more. You understand?
All right.
That is just it.
All right. Viewers, in the next couple of minutes, we will also open the telephone line for you to call and give us your take. Most especially those of you who have benefited directly or indirectly from these palliatives by the federal government. If you have received it, please call so that we can hear how it got to you, how your data was taken, and all that. Now, Nurudeen, you remember that when Tinubu came, in January 2024, he suspended all 4 core programs under the National Social Investment Agency, NSIPA, due to alleged corruption. These programs, let me list them. That was the Empower. There was the conditional cash transfer. There was the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP. And then there was Homegrown School Feeding Program. And then a panel was set up to investigate how those programs were actually managed. But suddenly, we didn't hear, because personally, as a journalist, I didn't hear the outcome of the findings of that panel. Only to now got to know that Renewed Hope, program was now relaunched by this government. And under it now, they have the Renewed Hope Conditional Cash Transfer, they have Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Program, they have Expanded CCT Program, or Iyaloja Loan Scheme. Where is the missing link? Because we had a serious problem before. There were programs suspended. Now suddenly we had up disbursement. Is there transparency in the whole of this?
Now, the last word you mentioned is also a key component of having a realistic palliative system, transparency. And it has been the one thing that is missing. It's missing in every aspect of governance in Nigeria. And until it is addressed, Malam Hamza, it will continue on this trajectory and it's not good for us. However, I will tell you this. Bitako, who is at the center of this thing in the Tinubu administration, in the Tinubu administration, who was suspended, and Nigerians applauded the president despite his closeness, the close relationship Bitako enjoys with him as his daughter, but he was able to allow the law to take its course, suspended. Investigations were going on. I personally here said that I'm interested to see what will be the outcome and what will be the penalty. But we don't know, is it time that is still ticking or is done and dusted? And Nigerians are not entitled to the result. Now, what has happened during Sadiya Farouk's time also, and is the same thing we're talking about. Monies were given, that you cannot account for. You release money to people, a politician will come, and that is the politicization aspect of it. You give this money to politicians when you already have database of people you can reach out to. And a politician will bring 200 or 300 or 500 people. You give him conditional cash transfer. And these people, whether they collect this money or not, you don't know. And you expect to see the effect in our economy. You know it's not going to happen. It's not rocket science. When nothing has gone down, nothing will come up. So we have been wasting time on these things. And that is why, Hamza, I want you to know, there are African countries that have done very well in terms of palliative system. One of it is Kenya. They did excellently very well, particularly during the COVID-19. And in fact, today, if you go on record, Malawi, Mozambique, Uganda, Rwanda, all these African countries in the East, they did fantastic in terms of palliative system. And they have been recognized, whether banana or orange republic or whatever you want to call them, they have done well, and they are on the world record that they have done fantastic in terms of palliative system. And it's because they care about their people. When 1 naira is targeted towards you, they will ensure that 1 naira gets to you. After all, who are the people that are supposed to get this palliative? Vulnerable people. Vulnerable people. We have the aged people. We have children who cannot afford feeding. All these systems that were in place were absolutely laudable systems that, if properly implemented, would seriously reduce the thing. Imagine revenue generation in my state is between 2.5 to 4 billion naira. Internal IGR. Now, if this 330, let's assume 7 billion naira will get to my state on this palliative, which is like another 100% increase on the IGR. Meaning the support, the complementary support from the governor will be less, and if well utilized, and this same group of people that are targeted are given this money from the cash transfer, from the food distribution, from the business support, I am telling you, governance is the most easiest thing so long as sincerity will come to play. But as far as governors and senators and politicians generally, we don't care about our people. We find our way to bully the system, collect this money, because when the president wanted to bring about this palliative system, when he came in, there was no intention of giving this money to governors. But because they put so much pressure, money was given to them. Some of them will buy 2-3 buses, the remaining money is gone. Some of the senators will collect 1.5 billion naira, the money is gone. Some of the members' House of Representatives will collect 700 million naira, which is like 50% of the money is gone. And nobody is asking questions. And today, there is another 330 billion. Why won't you hear that? I have not seen before. I know I'm not going to see now, and certainly I know nothing will change my life.
And Bitako, 25,000 monthly to 15 million households. They purportedly launched this in October 2023. Now, looking at the inflationary figures, and you said you are cushioning. Do you think 25,000 in a month for a family of 4, that is man, wife, and their 2 children?
Sir, if the 25,000 can judiciously reach the target, that will be highly appreciated as far as we Nigerians are concerned. Because Nigerians that I know are highly appreciative. Whatever they can get from the government, they do appreciate. But my brother here has just reiterated, narrated the calamities and the abnormalities and the shortcomings so involved in the processes of all these laudable programs. You understand? Sometimes in the media chat, I offered a kind of suggestion that, look, Mr. President being generous, to have aligned himself to political class such as the senators, the ministerial appointees, and other organs of politicians, to have designated them to give out this kind of money out to their people. He has done fantastically well. If I'm in their own shoe, I've got money to go and please or appease my people. There's no reason whatsoever a patriotic and sound-minded politician should be hiding this money or should be rebaggaging all these things. You understand? Go and give it. Tell them it has given to me. You send me there. It has been given to me. I've collected it and I'm giving it back to you. That will make a kind of balanced democracy. But be as it may, look, I have advised that sometimes, look, since this aspect has failed, we cannot be doing same thing at the same time, expecting same result.
You also said something to that.
Look, we have civil service. We have bank accounts.
Well, there are parameters. They claim that this time around,
there are parameters.
And,
just go to the accounts of Nigerians. Anybody that has below 20,000, where the 25K?
But how many Nigerians have accounts? Because I believe that we only have to remind our leaders where we are coming from, because they easily forget. You know, was it a blackmail?
Hamza,
during the last,
I really want to
disbursement, you know, the governor said they were not on the same page with the, register.
That the federal government. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
In fact, the president has done so much well now by putting a condition to this current palliative measure. He said 20% of it should be channeled towards traditional and religious institutions. These are highly revered people in the society. Expectedly, if a king in my town received this thing, the neighborhood will be aware.
It will trickle.
Now, what the government should be doing is to always publish the facts. If you are distributing this thing and you are giving Pastor A in my community 500 bags of rice, and you are giving Imam B 500 bags of rice, publish it so that his people will know he has collected this thing and they are expecting him to share it. But in a situation where you share this thing silently for whatever reason, and he also goes into deep silence with it, hence he refused to do anything and pocket it and keeps it or begin to sell it back to the market, you have ended up doing a beautiful nonsense. So what I'm expecting, that's what I'm saying, I hope the president have learned his lesson. What I'm expecting this time around is they should draw a pattern. This palliative, we are sharing it to 36 states. This is the amount every state is getting. And the state too should send down to the federal government their distribution pattern. This is what each local government is getting. If the federal government are not comfortable with the state government, based on their previous experience, they should draw this timetable from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, what each local government will get in Nigeria, and they should target. We have association. There is no, Trade Union Congress. There is no association that is not registered. We have tomato sellers. We have rice sellers. We have everybody. We have shoe shiners. They should bring their details. These are vulnerable people. These are people that can't even afford a single square meal. So if these things are coming, their leadership will be identified. Their own portion will be given. And believe you me, Mr. Hamza, if we will be doing things like this in the society, first of all, we will reduce burden and allow leadership at every level to take place. But in a situation where a governor wants to sit down in the government house and collect 20 billion naira and begin to call his friends to go and look for dollars for him, or he will begin to call his friends and ask them, converting the money because he is afraid of election, hence he has to sit down and prepare how he will buy votes, or he will sit down and start saying, how do I compensate you people, meaning that money is not for the people, it's for his friends. Then we are in trouble. So the government have had a bitter experience. When I say bitter, I mean really bitter.
Is it because, Bitako, is it because these people, they come from the same political party, that all the problems we had during the late President Buhari administration, especially in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. You mentioned the distribution of how many billions within 24 hours. And there was also distribution of food to students during COVID. We're not hearing anything about that. We have had now data edu, but then here we are in another round of distribution.
Do you know why? The problem is attached to our culture as Nigerians, as citizens of this country, great country and blessed country. Wrong culture, glorifying corruption, not the government not fighting to the last. Proactive measures are not taken. Proactive and punitive measures are not taken to punish people who go astray, people who embezzle public funds.
So you can take as much as you can.
Of course.
Maybe,
and look at the lacuna that is embedded even in the prestigious EFCC. Free bargain. If you take 100,000, you can return 60,000.
Is it up to 60? I think it's 20,000. Or 200,000. I don't know.
So you see, that lacuna is encouraging. At the end of the day, okay, I'll say, okay, my state, I can get 400 billion. After the 400 billion, let me take 350 billion. Then at the end of the day, if I'm being pursued by EFCC after my tenure, I can give them 180 or 100 billion, then cut away with the remaining. You are encouraging continuous criminality in the society.
Because there is no deterrence. Okay, viewers, it's now time for you to also call and give us your take as to whether you're convinced with the ongoing distribution of 330 billion by the federal government to vulnerable Nigerians. Have you received it? Because when you call, go straight to the point without foul language. The telephone number will soon be displayed on your screen. Nurudeen, before we receive the call, because I will keep obstructing you once we receive some calls. Is it right? Because these monies that we are going to, they are distributing, they are actually products of loans. $800 million. I tried converting it. I'm not good with figures, especially these days. Is it worth it to borrow money and then come and share it 25,000, maybe times 3, that is 75,000. Meaning that after 3 months, you will not see a trace of that money. But then look at the quantum, $800 million in this instance. Is it worth it?
Yeah, it's not. It's not, and it is, I will tell you, it's worth it and it's not worth it. It's worth it if the government will establish a medium to monitor and ensure proper and effective utilization of this fund. Remember, there is a third aspect of the effective means inject of the palliative, which is support for small businesses. Now, if you are giving 330 billion naira to Nigerians, and you know that this money you borrowed it, already there is a pressure on the economy. We are the largest population in Africa with a population almost 300 million, even though on record about 230 thereabout. But our GDP is just 188 billion. Fourth against South Africa with a population of 68. Against Egypt with a population of 120. Against Algeria with a population of 49. Next to us is Morocco. We are fourth. It's not a good thing for us. Now, if we borrow this money, it's like we are adding more pressure on the economy. But if this money will be utilized and you will identify these vulnerable businesses that you are supposed to keep alive. America did this thing during the COVID-19, where Biden submitted a request and both the Senate and the reps approved in the first tranche. Remember, $1.5 trillion was shared to vulnerable Americans, just to ensure that there's liquidity and economic turnaround. And it saved. It helped. In fact, when it was not enough, remember, he went back for the second one and it was approved because they know how this kind of palliative will keep their economy sustained. and it helped them. Today, they are still the world superpower. Germany has done the same. Belgium has done the same. Most of these countries have done wonderfully very well. So if we can target...
But you know, some Nigerians, you know, a monarch, I mean, from
I'm coming.
State,
no,
right?
I don't want to...
He went there claiming to get this COVID-19.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. If we can target, it all boils down to leadership, Hamza. If we can target either 50% of it, that, okay, let's say 165 billion naira should be targeted strictly for the business. Let's identify people we can give 50,000 and we'll ensure that they comfortably have the atmosphere to return at least 10% in every month or 5%. And at the end of the year, they must have returned this money with some...
Okay, let me quickly cut you so that we can receive our first caller. Hello, welcome to the program. Hello? Hello? Okay, please, can you lower the volume of your TV set?
Hello?
Yes, please. Who is on the line? And lower the volume of your TV set.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. We lost the call, unfortunately. Anyway, complete what you are saying so that Bitako can also give his take on the borrowing. Yes.
Just to summarize my point, what I'm saying in essence is government should target at least 50 to 60% of that money to small businesses because we need economic turnaround. Instead of sharing the money. Maybe 40% too.
Yes. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, quickly, what is your take on the distribution of the palliatives? Cash transfer and all that?
Yeah, for me, for my own choice, I didn't support this transfer, this cash transfer. They have to put the money into maybe subsidizing something that will come in down, people will be supposed to buy it. But if you give people, other people that didn't get it, how they will survive? They have to put their money into subsidizing or food or fuel, reducing the money of fuel, where people can go to the market, can go to work and buy by themselves.
Okay, have you heard of anybody in your neighborhood that benefited from this cash transfer?
Anybody that benefited on that palliative.
You didn't hear of anybody?
No. I never see anybody that benefited.
All right. What is the name?
Mohammed Hassan.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you very much. Okay.
Mr.
Mohammed said...
sorry, just to interrupt you.
Okay.
Do you know that what he is saying, Indonesia did this same thing. When they had issues about fuel crisis in their own country, they needed to palliate the effect. What they did is to reduce the effect of whatever fuel will serve in the country. Transportation, is it energy? And it worked. It worked.
Okay, we have another caller. When we come back, sorry, Bitako, you will soon comment. Yes, hello, welcome to the program. We lost. Okay, what is your take? Should Nigeria continue to borrow to finance palliatives?
Well, I'm not an economist, but I'm an educationist. To borrow and share is economic recklessness.
To borrow and share.
And share is economic
recklessness. Okay, you have made a sound bite. We have a caller. Hello? Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, quickly, what is your take? Should we continue to borrow to support palliatives?
Yes, good evening.
Yes.
No. I don't support that.
Okay. Can you reduce the volume of your TV so that we can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead, please. Yes. So what should the government do? That is the question now. If they should not borrow, how do you think they should manage the poverty rate in the country?
What I want them to do is that money cash transfer they are doing.
Go ahead.
It is the only way.
Well, also, I think you wanted to make, okay. So now let's start preferring solutions. Should they continue distributing the 25,000? Or they should go with the prescription by Nurudeen here that they should publicize it. Let's see, right? I think that was what you said. So that Nigerians will believe that, okay, gradually it will get to them. Because Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C is also local government, was also what has collected this money.
I am worried with the way we do things in this country, particularly with regard to issues like this or policies like this. You are a journalist. We don't have to borrow
to do some of these things. Okay, sorry to cut you, Bitako. Okay, let me quickly take this so that we can hear maybe one or two of them. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, quickly, how are you? Tell us your name and then your take on this palliative issue.
My name is Mohammed Sani. I'm calling you from Kano State. Okay,
from Kano. Okay, go ahead.
My take on this palliative, I don't think the palliative is helping anybody in Nigeria. All what we need as a common people, we need the government to put the people in their front. They are talking of palliative. In fact, I cannot see one person that has been benefited from this so-called palliative. Where the palliative is going to? Is it going to their houses or is it shared to the politicians? Because we, in the local level, we have not seen anything on the ground, rather than throwback. I don't know whether the government is meant to kill us with poverty. You go to the market, things are rise. You can't able to afford anything. You can't able to afford food. And we're here talking about palliative to who? Palliative to themselves. We can see, well, of course, we can see the political holders today. They have been buying big cars, big houses. If you raise their farm, they will say, buy it from your hand. We, the farmers, we are not able to afford a fertilizer.
All right, thank you.
We are just increasing the problem for us.
All right, thank you very much. Quickly, I want you to, because we are now, let's see now. Do you have an option to the palliative? What should government do?
Well, if the government should do palliative, my brother here has a kind of outline some measures. It should be transparent, well coordinated, and well managed, well supervised. That should be it, so that it will reach the target.
All right,
you understand? But look, I must say this. I must continue to say this. You don't borrow in economic. You don't borrow to share. You borrow to invest. Borrow comes with interest, with profit and interest. You understand? Then, if you are giving out, where are you going to get the money to pay back? Then, beside that, subsidy is gone in Nigeria. Where are the excesses of the subsidy? Accrued, money accrued from the petrol. Where is it? Why can't we not use that to cushion this effect rather than going to borrow again? Things are done haphazardly.
Okay, we have less than 1 minute and I can see you are nodding your head in just 30 seconds so that we wrap up. What will you say? And he asked a cogent question. Why after removing subsidy, still borrowing and then, blowing it?
We can't unpack this in 1 minute, but I will just give you a quick answer with respect to the last caller who talked about fertilizer. Because part of the palliative, today, many Nigerians are aware that food items are crashing in the market. But the measures taken to crash those food items were many licenses for importation. Now, it's not sustainable. These are just,
So what
the government should be doing is provide adequate fertilizer to farmers at a subsidized rate so that they can go into their farms and we expect a very good output at the end of the season. That is a sustainable means and this will guarantee a sufficient food security. So,
all right.
Yes.
Nurudeen Hammanyero, thank you very much for coming to the program.
Thank
and we hope to have you some other time. I wish we have more time. And Bitako, thank you.
Thank you so much
for coming to the program.
And coincidentally, he's my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And because that's Sarah for today's package, we hope you enjoyed what we brought to you. Join us tomorrow, on Sunday, for another interesting package of Sunday politics. From here, I'm Hamza Idris. Good night.